Hey, what is up, my people? Pastor Bill here. I remember being in the delivery room in the moment the nurse handed me my son for the first time. He was a month early and he was pretty small. I gotta say, I was terrified. But the thing that hit me most wasn't fear, it was this overwhelming sense of love and responsibility. Like I would do anything for this little one. He was our firstborn. But here's what I didn't realize in the moment. God knows that feeling. In fact, I think He designed it. In Exodus chapter 4, God says something stunning to Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. Here's what He said: Israel is my firstborn son. Let my son go so he can worship me. See, God doesn't just say, my people. He calls them His firstborn son. Now, in the ancient world, the firstborn carried the family name. He represented the father. He had a role, a responsibility as well, and because of the responsibility, a double inheritance. So God looks at Israel, at this point, a ragged group of slaves, and says, that's my boy. That's my son. He has a purpose. He belongs to me. And did you know that in Christ, that's you too? But here's the tension I see in Exodus chapter 13. I see, now that they're about to exit Egypt, God tells His people this. He says, dedicate every firstborn to me, human and animal. They belong to me. And then He says something that changes everything. But you must buy back every firstborn son. Yeah, buy back, redeem. A price must be paid. So every Israelite father since that time who walked into that transaction to buy back their son from the priest was acting out a drama. My son belongs to God. A price is paid and he's given back to me. Year after year, generation after generation, they were rehearsing something I don't think they fully understood. The book of Hebrews tells us that those sacrifices were a shadow or a dim preview of the good things to come. And then Paul the Apostle in the New Testament writes this. He said, Jesus is the firstborn over all creation, the firstborn from among the dead. So in Exodus, a lamb died so the firstborn son could live. At the cross, the firstborn son died so that we could live. See that symbolism or typology? It's not just repeated, it's inverted. It is upside down. And then there's this verse in Romans 8:32 that just wrecks me. Paul wrote this, since He did not even spare His own son, but gave Him up for us all, won't He also give us everything else? See, this is amazing. God the Father didn't buy back His own son. He gave Him up so that you and I could be bought back, redeemed forever. Now, with all that said, here's the part you might not love. After the Passover, after the firstborn are redeemed, God leads Israel out. And there was a short route to the promised land, a direct road. God knew all about that, but He chose a different path. He knew something about the direct route that they didn't. Moses wrote this way. He said this: God did not lead them along the main road. He said if they faced a battle, they might change their minds and return to Egypt. So the truth is, God knew what they needed better than they did. So for us, there'll be moments when you think, oh yeah, I know the best way through this situation. I know the best way through this issue. But then God takes you somewhere else entirely. Okay. Listen, here's the hard truth. God will do what's best for you, but He's more concerned with your character than your comfort. He's making you ready for heaven. But look at what comes next as they begin their journey out of Egypt. It says this: the Lord went ahead of them. He did not remove the pillar of cloud or the pillar of fire. So when they left, God didn't just send them into the wilderness. He went with them. But there's something here that I don't think we can miss, and that is the law of the firstborn and the first fruits together that share the same logic. You see, when you give God the first and the best, you're declaring that everything belongs to Him. Jesus put it this way. He said, seek first His kingdom, His righteousness, and all the other things that we worry about will be given to you as well. But I love this. Jesus is the firstborn over all creation. He's the firstborn from among the dead. He's the Lamb who was slain. He's our ransom, our Redeemer, and He's the way. And if you belong to Jesus, you're part of the very church of the firstborn, which means that your name is written in heaven. You are His, and He is yours. No wonder we worship Him. We'll see you next time. And why not join us at Centerpoint for worship and encouragement this weekend? It all starts this Sunday at 10 a.m. You can join us on site at our campus in beautiful South Tacoma, or if you're out of town, join us online at our Centerpoint Facebook page. Either way, it'll be a great time together. See you then.